What matters is that we recognise that Brexit is the decision of the British people. We need to deliver on that. We're nearly 3 years on from the original vote. It is now the time for Parliament to decide. A short extension gives us that opportunity to decide leave the European Union, to deliver on that result of that referendum. And I sincerely hope that will be with a negotiated deal.
And let's go now to Catherine Nicholson, our European Affairs editor. Catherine, what's the latest?
Well, the official working session has now got underway here at the European Council in Brussels. The leaders of heads of state and government gathered around that big table to get down to work. And Brexit is top of the agenda today. A very specific item as well. They're talking about this extension request from Theresa May that you mentioned before. We've heard that Theresa May wants this very short, what she's calling a technical extension, in order to just have Parliament in the UK ratify the existing withdrawal agreement and then give them time to deal with the technical legal aspects to get that through before the end of June. That's what Theresa May is asking for. What the leaders are going to be discussing is whether they agree in principle with the idea of an extension, and if they do, how long should it be? Do they want to go for this technical extension Theresa May is asking for? She is going to have to convince them that she can get Parliament behind her deal, if that's what the outcome is going to be. There's also a bit of a quibble about whether her idea of a short extension is actually short enough. Theresa May citing the 30th of June as a potential end date. That's the day before the new European Parliament would reconvene for the first time without British MEPs. However, there's been talk here of that being shortened by even a few more days and Britain being forced to agree to a May 22nd end date for the extension. That's because voting in the European Parliament elections gets underway on the 23rd. And there are concerns among EU leaders and diplomats that there could be legal concerns if British citizens are technically still members of the European Union while that vote is happening, but unable to take part in the vote. So lots of very technical aspects there, but technical aspects that will turn out to be very important when all's said and done. Theresa May starting off the working session today herself by briefing her fellow European leaders and, as I said, trying to convince them that she can get Parliament to support her deal that they have already rejected twice.
Catherine, as I mentioned, Theresa May met the French President Emmanuel Macron before the start of this summit. What's he been saying?
Well, when Emmanuel Macron arrived here, he continued with his rather strict, somewhat harsh tone towards British politicians in general, not specifically Theresa May, but saying that Britain is undergoing a political crisis and the EU is obviously being impacted by that, is his view of things. He's also been talking about the potential consequences of a long delay. He seems to be more open to a short delay. Apart from the consequences I mentioned before, there could be ramifications of a much longer extension, say 9-12 months, of the UK potentially having to choose the new Commission President, send a European Commissioner to Brussels, even start taking part in budget decisions. Can there be legal ways around that? Emmanuel Macron said that he has been seeking legal advice about this. He said that it would be irresponsible for the EU to extend the Brexit process without knowing exactly why they were doing so, and that it's up to the British to give some clarity now. Let's take a listen to exactly what Emmanuel Macron said and why he thinks a short delay is the best one.
I am obviously open to a technical extension, the shortest one possible. This if there is a yes vote. Next, we have to be clear with ourselves, our British friends and with the people. Firstly, we've spent 2 years negotiating this deal. It cannot be renegotiated. Secondly, if the British vote no, then we are heading towards a no deal. We all know this.